You're listening to Opinions and Beer. I prefer mead. You sent me to hell, Jason.
I really just want to make everybody jealous.
I'm a person from Earth.
Listen, what are we talking about?
I reckon it sounds like Opinions and Beer.
You can do it, Dingo.
Oh, I'm good.
You're the smartest dumb guys I've ever met.
So, Wednesday, I'm Adam, this is Keenan, this is Eamon. We're here today with Wednesday 13. It's the Opinions and Beer Show.
Yep,
Podcast.
Opinions Beer Podcast.
All right.
Cool, man.
It's awesome to be able to talk to you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's mind blowing, man. We've been
Absolute
listening to your
honor,
music for
sure.
years, you know.
Awesome.
Yeah, you've always been you're definitely one of those top 5 bands that I always put on those mixtapes and whatnot,
Well,
or the
thank
mix CDs and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
You know,
I like to
iTunes
make
mix CDs.
mixtapes. I like to be in there, be in there somewhere.
Remember a while back whenever we were making movies back in the day, like when we were about, between 13 to 15, we used one of your songs for a murder scene.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm always good for that.
And then as a throwback, we made a sequel, and in the same type of scene, we did All-American Massacre, and he slaughters a room full of partygoers.
I remember that
the
scene very
slasher character.
That's good. It sounds like a family movie.
Yeah, for sure. So I think we have a kind of a limited time. I know you're a busy person. so we're
Yeah,
just
we
gonna
got it.
dive into
Just
it.
every
real
day
fast.
it's different, so I just go where they point me sometimes.
It's understandable, man.
Completely
So
understand.
how are you liking this tour right now with Cradle?
It's awesome. It's actually coming to an end. We have tonight and tomorrow is the last days of the tour. We started March 7th in Vegas, so it's been like 6 weeks with rehearsal, travel days, and all that stuff. So it's been awesome. I mean, it was everything I hoped this tour would be and more. Like Cradle of Filth's audience, I wasn't sure if we were going to be accepted by them or whatever, but at the same time, that was the whole challenge of it too, was to come out and make a new audience be our fans, and so I would say 90% of this audience in this tour has been the Cradle fans and 10% our fans. So it's been the perfect gateway to get in front of a new audience.
Yeah, natural growth.
And the Cradle fans are great. I mean, it's not a closed-minded audience. It's very open-minded. You could see people with Misfits shirts, Danzig shirts, Typo Negative, Marilyn Manson, Zombie, Hank 3, whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's literally a mishmash of everything. So I think that's kind of what we've done, is we've just kind of done our own thing. We're punk, it's glam, it's heavy metal, it's shock rock, it's punk rock, it's everything. We're the mutts. So
It's everything you need it to be.
yeah, and it fits. It goes along. Like we're not really that kind of band that they are always like, oh, we don't know who to put you with. And I'm like, well, we can play with anybody. Like we have a punk set, we have a metal set, we can pretty much play in front of anyone from Green Day to Slayer and make it work, and so to me, taking on different audiences is a challenge. We've been doing our own shows for years, and it's easy to play in front of your own audience. I think that can make you lazy too, and because your audience,
An echo chamber.
well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it becomes a thing where you got to go out and win it every night. And I know this audience isn't ours. And end of the show, my goal is to have everybody up on their feet, hands in the air, whether they mean it or not. I got to scare them enough to do it. So
With your band covering so many genres, I mean, I'm sure that happens, so much so that you're always having to, like you said, win over the crowd every single night. And that don't ever get exhausting. You don't ever, prefer the latter.
No,
You know?
I mean,
How you like it.
for some bands, they don't mind. They like doing their own crowd. They don't like being an opening support band, and that's not something that we're used to doing over the years, because just financially for years, like I did Wednesday 13 solo tours just because we couldn't afford to go out as a support band until things changed. We got on a label, and we can get better shows now. So this was a tour that I wanted to be able to do. But again, it's just challenging to have a audience that has no idea who you are and to win them over in your set time is
So a lot of Bourbon Crow then.
No, but
No,
but you know what? I'm not doing Bourbon Crow. That's actually opened the door for like me to, you know, when I did that was such a left ball like that. You know what I mean? Like,
awesome too.
and that was.
He had to tell me it was the same year.
It's 2005.
This Wednesday 13th.
Yeah.
No, why?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's a long time ago, you know, and it was just doing that opened up a lot of doors, and you know, I was like, all right, gloves are off, makeup's off on this, so it's just kind of ripped and raw and everything, and so that was a challenge too, and the fans loved it, so it was like, so after doing that and just kind of doing this after a while, you just I don't know, I don't really have the fear of going in front of any band. Maybe years ago I wouldn't have been confident, but like I enjoy going out every night. I hope everybody in here doesn't know who we are. Sure. I'd prefer that.
That's cool, man.
It really shows your range as well.
Yeah, I think so too.
One of the things that I was going to mention is a lot of bands being on tour like this, it really wears them down. They don't like being on tour for an extended period of time. You kind of seem like the fella who actually is the opposite, like it energizes you.
Well,
is that true? Or?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I mean, like anything, a lot of people, you know, and until you do this side of the job, you know, I was the guy going to concerts, and I would see a band play, and I was the one waiting around the bus and waiting for an autograph, and you know, I didn't understand why I couldn't meet the band sometimes, or I didn't see them, and because I didn't know what goes on behind the scenes. So it's a lot of things like, you know, with a tour like this, playing House of Blues, you load in earlier. Cradle has a big setup, so our day starts at like noon, and then there's interviews, and we do meet and greets, and then so it's not just us hanging around partying and
twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah, it's become like, but it's something I look forward to. I wake up, like I get up before everyone else now. I kind of do rock and roll hours, but not really. Like I'm in bed by midnight every night, and you know, but I'm the first one up. I get shit done, and so yeah, my day is just I like challenges every day, and ever since I quit drinking, that's been kind of a thing that I do. The stage is my exercise. We have 40-minute set, and I fucking go for it for 40 minutes. Like there's no stopping it. Like it's like once it starts, it's like ding ding, fight begins. Like, you know, and that's how I didn't used to be that way, but now it's like when that intro starts, that's the bell ringing to go to the fight. You know, and it's awesome. And I didn't have that enthusiasm years ago, and now I do. So it's just learning how to be on tour again now and have fun with it, because it can get old. It can whittle you down. This is a 6-week tour. I haven't been home since March 1st. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm going to go home, and I'll probably turn into a cocoon for about 3 days, and then I'll launch into a beautiful butterfly next week, and I'll start doing business again and work. I just need a couple of days to kind of decompress from this. Yeah, and
are you going to be you're going to be joining the Static X tour?
Yeah, we're doing that all this year. We're doing Australia. We're doing the U.S. with them, which we can announce now because this tour's over with. That wasn't announced at first, so we're on the whole Static X World Tour this year, which is the U.S., Australia, UK, Europe, and the States again at the end of the year. So it's just our whole year's booked. I go home this time. It's my last time off until August, and then next time off is December.
Jeez,
so
it's like a full-time job.
It is, but you know, it's what you make out of it. It can be a job or it can be fun, and you gotta
find that.
You gotta roll with it after a while, or it can be as worse as someone working a job they hate. Life is what you make it. It can be misery, or it can be fucking. You can do whatever, you know. It's what you make of it. If you want it to be shit, if you think it's shit all the time, life's going to be shit. If you're optimistic and you have hopes to doing stuff, you'll get shit done. It's just, you know.
So what would current Wednesday 13 say to maybe younger Wednesday 13?
Do it more.
Hell yeah.
I don't regret anything. But no, everything I've done has got me to where I am. Whether it was my first band I joined or a friend here, like everything has made me who I am. If I change it, it's like Back to the Future. If you go back and alter anything of the past. It fucks everything up.
Yeah,
so
go
I,
ahead, dive bar.
so I, yeah. So I don't, so I don't think I would be where I am without going through all the things I've been through.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's just living and learning, and I get to do it in a rock band. It's a little different, but people, it's not, like I said, it is a job, but it's the best job I've ever had. So.
So we are Opinions in Beer, so we're gonna get some of your opinions on some on some current day things going on. There's a big debate right now in the metal community.
Okay.
What is your thoughts on the mosh pit debate? Should mosh pits end?
Is that a debate, really?
It is.
It is.
It's a big thing right now.
I unplugged my television about 8 months ago.
About they're a bit too dangerous and stuff like that.
The
And
people that don't want to mosh is outnumbering the people that do want to mosh. And there's even been shows now where the bands have shut down mosh pits saying no moshing during
Well,
their set.
it's like this. That's never really been my audience as far as we get people moving around and things because our music's, it's heavy, it's energetic, but we're more of a theatrical band, so people are kind of don't want to move because they'll miss something.
Yeah,
so I've kind of made our show a little more theatrical, kind of keeping away from that. It's not that from a crowd point of view, being back and watching a mosh pit, like I remember seeing Pantera on the Far Beyond Driven tour in an arena, and I went up in the balcony to watch it, and it was literally like watching a bunch of bees in a giant circle, and it was awesome. Yeah. But I'm also going, I don't want to be in that fucking thing. And I'm also looking at it going, oh my God, how many people are getting destroyed? But also enjoying it. It just kind of depends. It's almost kind of like if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen sort of thing. But at the same time, there are people that are on the front row that don't want to be touched. Right. And then I see it every night. I'm watching, and I try to warn a kid. And they just think I'm making an action. I'm like going, no, and I just go, fuck, and I just see someone get,
keep on with the set,
so so
real performer.
In my mind, I think, if shows were more, I don't know, music causes people to react in a different way. I think moshing it lets the band know the audience is into it, but whether it ends or not isn't going to change my day. I prefer fist in the air and just scream. I don't necessarily, need to get hurt during the process. But I know some bands, that's their thing. I'm not going to. A Hatebreed concert wouldn't be the same if they were all there. I love Hatebreed. They're one of my favorite bands to see live ever, and it wouldn't be the same without Hatebreed's pit and their, so. It's just, it's for some people and it's not for some people. It's not really my thing, but I'm not against it,
That's about what I was telling my friend Adam earlier here. And, I've been that guy that's like, you got to make a decision between, do I, look at the band and enjoy them, or do I join that mosh pit? I can't do both.
Yeah, I mean, if they were going to do anything, which would be the stupidest looking thing I've ever seen, was if they literally, put a gate in between the people, so there was designated mosh. Make a like at my old skating ring. There was one for the kids, so they didn't get trampled by the big kids. So put a fucking rink in it, whatever.
Yeah. People mistake the smoking
People can't control themselves.
Yeah, and you can't expect people to go, oh, I'm
this
gonna go to
is the pit.
Yeah,
stay in the
get
circle.
in this stable if you want to possibly die.
See, that's a completely a realistic compromise.
I think so. I mean, they do it at all the festivals. They figured a way. If you notice all the festivals now, the huge ones that are 100,000, like Download, they have a walkway down the center because people were getting trampled. So they split it up into 2 sections, and front of house splits up the audiences now because it causes less chaos. So why couldn't you just put a mosh circle?
A mosh pit.
Literally, you get in. There's a certain amount of people can get into it, and I don't know. I mean, fuck you. They can make a smoking area. They can make a designated area for VIPs. Make a fucking mosh section. That's my compromise. Make a mosh rink.
That's good coming from somebody on the inside.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we were going to touch on, but we're really limited on time. We wanted to kind of go into some of your past performances and music and whatnot. Yeah. So since we can't really dive too much into it, I just want to bring up what are some of your songs and things from the past that you would like to maybe bring back up to date, you know?
I mean, we revisit a lot of songs from like the old Frankenstein Drag Queens, even the first Murder Dolls and stuff with the band now, and sometimes we'll, you know, like last year was the anniversary of my Skeletons record, you know, so I haven't played half those songs, so it's like I haven't played them with this lineup. I played it with my old lineup years ago, so we go back and revisit songs, but there's still the staples that like we're not playing all of them tonight because it's a support tour, but when we do our headline tours, there's like we always play I Love to Say Fuck or I Walk with a Zombie. There's Bad Things. Those are kind of the ones that's kind of like if I went and seen Alice and he didn't play Schools Out or No More Mr. Nice Guy, like the crowd gets mad, so I put myself in the audience and I try to do things like that. But then there's then there's old songs that we'll break out sometimes that maybe only a handful of people know, and they're like, oh my God, they're playing Screwdriver, you know. And so it's, you know, but it gets harder to make a set list as we write new songs, and so it's like old songs get sacrificed the more albums you put out, because like when we start touring after September, we're going to want to play a lot more new songs, and then it's like some of the old ones have to go away, you know. So it's just, but I always try to put the audience in mind and go, all right, if this was a guy that's been listening since the beginning, what's going to satisfy him? If it's only one song, you know what I mean? Like I try to think about every individual as much as I can without making it where I'm just making a set for people. Like it's still fun for us, but it's fun for the audience too.
So people on the outside looking in, like how would you say, how much does the record label possibly affect like those types of decisions as well?
They affect nothing as far as and that's always been the case with me with everything I've done, like being on Roadrunner Records with Murder Dolls, even as my first solo record.
Which they're huge. I mean,
you know, but the thing that I think I've been fortunate enough to deal with is when you sign and act like Murder Dolls or Wednesday 13th, you kind of know what you're getting.
Yeah.
You're not going to go, hey, we signed you, but, you know, could you kind of maybe soften it up a bit?
Maybe say fuck a little less.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that was never been kind of held at me. It's kind of like, all right, we got you because you do this. Yeah. So it's not really like a change or anything, but
we're trying to put you on the radio. Could you say I love to say freak?
Yeah, you know. But the label, I mean, as far as like they help out a lot, but it's not like as far as like they don't really have any details like, oh, you guys should do this song or go a direction. Like they had nothing to say as far as like you know, what a lot of people think Condolences sounds the way it does because we were on Nuclear Blast, but that couldn't be further from the truth, because we had the record recorded before we ever got the record deal, 4 months before it was done, and it just turned out that way. We got to sign the Nuclear Blast, so they had no effect on us being heavier. That was a change we made on our own, and the new record is just a ongoing process. It's the continuation of it's the next phase. It's the Necrophase, what I call it. And so it's the label has been supportive. We just turned the record in this weekend, so I'm kind of waiting to hear back from our main guy whether he likes it or not. I think he will. I love it. I think it's awesome.
So you already have everything.
We just turned it in, so it's all the process of getting the artwork turned in, people checking my grammar because I fuck up on every record. But the record's done. It's been done since we finished it, like right before this tour started. We finished the last thing, so we've been listening to mixes on the road. Our guy sends it to us. We listen to it as a band on the bus and go, we like that, change this. So we just finally got it done and approved the mixes last weekend, sent it to the label. It's not really a lot of people that listen to it. We have one A&R guy, Monty Connor, who signed every band you can think of from Slipknot to Fear Factory, and he's our guy. And he's been fortunate enough to be my guy for Murder Dolls and Wednesday 13, and now we're back on Nuclear Blast with him. So he's our A&R guy, and really respect that guy's opinion when you look at all the bands that he found. Like, for sure. I mean, Machine Head, no joke. You know what I mean? Like Typo Negative. These are the bands that he literally was responsible for getting them signed and becoming the bands they were. So I take his opinion very seriously, and if he doesn't like it, you know, but I think he's gonna love it. Fingers crossed. So
the biggest thing we wanted to ask you today is, where the fuck is Weirdo-A-GoGo 2?
It is floating somewhere in the air, and like, yeah.
Do we still ever see that?
It was one of those things that I really don't know. You can thank alcohol for that existing. Again,
and with you having quit drinking, I guess that'd be a
but no. Actually, I'm probably a little more ridiculous now that I've quit drinking.
We're looking forward to it.
But yeah, it's Weirdo's a really cool thing. It's basically Ramon and I Ramon did all the voices for it, and it was cool. But when we put the DVD out, that was kind of like the end of people watching shows. Like, everything became streaming. So it was kind of like, to get someone to buy a DVD, like if we were to do Weirdo-A-GoGo again, it would be much more like a Tim and Eric kind of 10-minute episode thing, where we could do it instead of trying to force a whole DVD, drunk.
Be on Hulu. No.
You could go through one of those companies like Amazon. Actually, he's uploaded a couple things to that.
Yeah, so we've thought about it, but again, it's like, I don't want to do anything just on the side. I got to do everything top notch, or I won't do it. So it's kind of like, so doing like a,
And that's how you got where you are.
Yeah, it's like, once you kind of, like, for me, people go, why didn't you make videos for years? It's like, well, because I couldn't afford to make one that looked as good as the last one. So I'm not going to do a shitty one. I want to do one that's up to par, so it took us till Condolences to be on a label and be able to do videos. And I'm like, all right, cool, these are quality videos that hold up. The Dead in Hollywood, Nowhere, Home Sweet Homicide, the stuff off Transylvania. So it had to be quality, and I could have put out, people have made videos, and I'm like, it's not good enough, so that's always been a quality for me. It has to be as better than the last thing we put out, and if it's not, then it's got to cook some more.
So what would be a more strenuous process, recording audio for your songs or recording video for one of the music videos?
The videos are pretty easy. I'm gonna say easy. They're a lot to do, but I'm more aware of them now, because we did 5 for the last record, so that definitely kind of, I learned. Even though I did videos before, but like, when you don't do them for a while, it's just odd to be there and have doing vocals, lip syncing, and you got 20 people around you watching you, and you get done, they're like, and you're like, great, it's just, so it's so videos used to be kind of like, the first couple we did for the last record were kind of tough, just because I wasn't confident with myself, and then but recording has always been pretty easy. We don't ever try to do anything that we can't pull off live or anything. So, and like this recording, like the past 2 recordings, like vocal wise, it was easy for me. It was like I had our producer Michael. He definitely pushed me a lot, and more than anyone had done, but in the past, as far as like trying ideas, like it was cool. He would suggest different melodies or different. Why don't you try that word, but do this? And I was like, what? And so it was cool having a guy like that challenge me on stuff. So that's fun in the studio. And then for videos, I'm looking forward to this round of videos too, because I'm prepared this time, and I'm more. I got my brain around it, so I'm ready to own it and make our best video. And I think we've made our best record. It's the best combination of everything I've ever done. If people wanted the horror record, they're gonna get it, and a little bit more.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah,
so
I'm excited, dude.
Yeah.
It's nothing like the old. It's like the old stuff, but it's. I can't explain it. It's the next phase.
Artists, you have to
sprinkled on it.
Yeah, like it's
because the original stuff was kind of like like musically it was very like horror punk. Vocally it had more of a shock rock sound to it.
Well, yeah, I mean, basically the whole input or the blueprint for what I used to do with Frankenstein Drag Queens to turn into Murder Dolls was literally Pee Wee Herman with a guitar. It was like it was campy, and we used to have the Pee Wee Herman Pee Wee's Big Adventure intro before we started, and anything just kind of campy and over the top, almost like kid-like, but enough to be kind of fuck you too. And that was kind of what I did when I first started, and then over the years I started crafting Wednesday 13 into more of like a theatrical thing, and the new album is like, it's the next phase. It's nothing like the old stuff visually, but it's just, I think we've turned the notch up on the on the spookiness and everything.
Oh,
It's
hell yeah.
it's everything I've wanted us to do, and it's taken us this long to get there. So it's worth it. It's worth the wait, I think.
So with things like Frankenstein Drag Queen in the past, I was reading up on some stuff, and you were saying that like you kind of went for this fuck you to everybody vibe to like all the rednecks or whatever.
Well, I was a redneck too, but there was much, that was kind of our thing. It was like
it was kind of like a shock factor almost.
Well, I mean, as much as no more than Kiss trying to shock or Wasp trying to shock.
Okay.
They had, they were a band that was like, what can we do? We're on the Sunset Strip. We got all these bands to compete with. So Wasp goes, all right, we'll eat meat. We'll set our logo on fire. We're fucking fuck you. We're tougher, And then in my town, there was nobody doing what Frankenstein tried. Not even anything close to it. So that was almost the fuck you in itself. Just doing what we did, and then we actually said fuck you. So it was kind of like, man, those guys look like girls, but they just start shit. They're like, we were kind of known more for talking shit the first year than even playing music. We'd talk and start fights more than anything, and it was really, when I think back to it, I don't understand the mentality I had. I'm like, it was literally to go and make the entire audience mad at us.
Yeah, and it worked. It
It worked so good.
With that in mind, like nowadays audiences are so much different than they were in the past. Like, how would you kind of like?
They are and they're not. I mean, they
Okay.
kind of seem the same to me from when I've been playing. Like when I look at old videos and see Twisted Sister playing Stay Hungry, and there are people not moshing, headbanging so hard it looks like they're going to kill themselves.
Yeah.
That's the audience I've never really seen. Maybe in Germany and with touring with Iron Maiden, I've seen kind of that. But like, as far as the audience has kind of been the same since I've been playing, and I don't know. I pay attention to the audience. I try to find things that would shock them because I'm in the audience a lot. I go to shows, so I just try to always do something that's going to stand out. I'm always imagine I'm in the audience. What would freak me out if that guy did this or they band did something like this. So I've the audiences have been the same. I just think the only thing that's different in the past 10 or 15 years is people have become like bands tour so much. And somebody go, well, I'll go see Wednesday in June. I'm not going to see him in January because he just came through. I'll see him next time. So it's like that's the thing. The audiences have gotten thinner because bands tour more, and people just feel like, they're always touring. So that's the only difference in the audience is getting people to get out to the fucking shows. So people are too busy on their phone. They can go, I can go to a show, or I can wait an hour and watch it on YouTube. You know what I mean? You'd be surprised. People at our show watching our show like this.
I know how that feels though. Like,
but that's what they want to do. It's not my thing.
There's
But
bands that I've seen
that's
so
another
many times
debate, too.
that they come around.
The
like,
phone
man,
The merchandise
Yeah.
as well too.
Well, and just the phone thing, because you see people smacking phones out of people's hands when they're trying, they're doing the whole.
I would never do that. But
don't move like this.
I mean, I can hear where they're coming from though, because either way, it's a little.
But they get, like,
it's a little
overly
more
upset.
Exposure,
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time,
I don't know how
it's
you go to a
disruptive.
concert and want to use your phone.
Yeah.
Take a picture of the moment and put it back in your pocket.
Exactly,
But
exactly.
like,
Don't do the whole time. If you're gonna do anything, be brief.
But I've literally seen people watch the entire show through their phone, video the entire show, and not even look up once. Like, I'm like, well, what is wrong with you?
It's all about those views, man. They don't. I guess like
They're more worried about their
modern day
They care
people.
more about getting views than enjoying the show.
Well, yeah,
actually.
they
No,
just-
I mean,
I
there's
can't
just someone.
imagine
This person just watches it when they go home. Like,
Yeah.
it's just their own personal collection. Now, it's not for YouTube or anything. Some people, I don't know.
It's like
Like, one
they're
time
losing
I tried
that.
to get a video of an entire song live. I'm like, no, fuck this, I'm missing that.
Yeah, because you lose taking it in, man.
Yeah.
But that's also, I'm not gonna knock someone's phone out of their hand if they're enjoying it or whatever. It's just,
To each his own and shit.
yeah.
Right. So you're a big monster movie guy. Are you into any of the new King Kong stuff coming out and whatnot?
I'm not even aware of
Or not
anything.
King Kong.
The
Fuck me, Godzilla.
universe
Oh,
they're
you mean
doing.
the new Godzilla?
The new Godzilla. War
I
of the
didn't even
Monsters.
know anything about
coming
it.
in.
I literally have like turned off all like news stuff. I don't really, unless it involves the band or like it's on my Twitter feed. I don't really hear about it because I don't
Okay.
watch TV anymore.
No more TV.
I watch TV. I don't watch what's on like on cable or I don't watch I watch movies. I watch old movies and stuff all the time. I watch TV shows all the time, but I don't watch. I had to turn off the news and everything. I don't.
So what happened last time on Walking Dead is no.
I'm sure there's a lot of cool shows. I'm just not really into it, and the news it's just so depressing. I can't even turn on the news. I can't even believe it's real, half the shit that I hear that's happening, and then I just don't pay attention to it anymore. So I've turned it off in my head.
Okay.
But King Kong and Godzilla I love, but if there's a new one coming out, I don't really know why.
Yeah, well, because they're doing the Monster Universe thing, and they want to do
they're doing all that.
They're building up King Kong versus Godzilla.
They did it.
But they're doing it again with
This is almost not even movie related, but doing research on you, I found that you were in Japan in 2011 during the earthquake. Were you in the earthquake?
Yes.
You want to talk about that?
It was awful. But yeah, it was on that Murder Dolls tour, and we played 2 shows, and the earthquake hit. We were 200 miles away from where the main tsunami and everything hit in Sendai, but yeah, we were 200 miles away, and it was still a 9.3 earthquake, and it just the aftershocks every 15 minutes all day long that were just a little bit lighter than the first one. So just imagine an entire day of the earth shaking. People don't understand, when I say the earth was, you had to get on the ground and hold yourself because you couldn't stand up, and that is a feeling that I can't explain to anyone. You're out of there's nothing you can control. Literally the earth is moving around you. It's crazy, fucked up.
Yeah, the tsunami visuals were the scariest thing I think I've ever seen.
It's horrible, and us not getting hurt or being able to get out of there a couple of days later, and everybody else stuck at the airport. I've been to Tokyo a lot over the years, and that night that it happened, the streets were empty. It was just like the movie Night of the Comets, where everybody just turned to dust. I've never seen anything. You could hear a pin drop in Tokyo. It was crazy. So
was Roger trying to tell us to wrap up?
Probably. That's probably his look.
Yeah,
Let me.
It was 15 minutes ago.
What? So I guess last little bit. Could you tell us a little bit more about your new album? When it's coming out? Or is that still secret? Or?
It's still secret, kind of. I think I may have blurted it out, but
yeah, I think some people.
It's coming out in September. We haven't said the date yet, so it'll be before Halloween. So but we're making announcements on all that soon enough, and we're touring all year. The new album's called Necrophase, and it's the next chapter of what we do. It's the next phase. So I'm excited about it. The record's cool, and I never know if the fans are gonna like it. I didn't know if they were gonna like Condolences. I love Condolences. I hope they would like it as much as we liked it. But this one, I've got a feeling that it's almost like I know fans are gonna like it. It's just I don't know, and if I'm wrong, then punch me in the face. So
hell yeah. A final thing, I know I keep adding on. What was the craft beer what was the beer you guys were drinking during Weirdo-A-GoGo, and what was your favorite craft beer when you were drinking?
We didn't drink beer. I was never a beer drinker. I was mainly liquor, because liquor's quicker and makes you sicker. In my case, it was. So I think for Weirdo-A-GoGo, we pretty much drank a whole gallon of Southern Comfort.
Oh yeah, that shit's easy.
And then that whole video was done. He and I painted a lemonade stand and everything. It was amazing.
But in the episode, you did have you brought out a 6-pack, but it's so blurry, I can't see what it was. I was just wondering.
That was definitely Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Okay.
But I think I may have sipped. I was never a beer guy. I ruined it for me as a kid. My dad used to drink beer, and I used to pour Kool-Aid in the beer cans when he was done with it.
Yeah.
And it was just always made me sick, having grape beer flavored Kool-Aid. So I just kind of ruined Kool-Aid and beer for me.
Ironically, just about 9/10 of our guests do not drink beer. So From Michael Jai White to Jan Broberg to all of these people.
Well, it's because they've all had the
Well, we don't
great,
just do beers
great
on our show. We also
Kool-Aid
do
beer
opinions.
concoction.
Yeah.
So, man, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
It
for
was
your
such a
time.
great opportunity to talk to
And
you,
more
man.
time than we were given. So,
Right.
awesome. You're so awesome. I don't know how to conclude.
I think we took it.
Yeah, and if there's anything else you want to plug or state, man.
I just always add 2 + 2.
Thanks.
What the answer is, get back to me.
Get back to me.
Let me know what you come up with.
It's like only a 10% possibility of us seeing the show. But as I thought about it, I convinced myself it's more of a 90% possibility. Like, it's a shoe-in, dude. We interview the band. It's unspoken.
I can still get a ticket, I guess. So I want y'all to know, like, when we were downstairs.
It depends on like your budget, because eating and getting an Uber back to your vehicle is more important.
When we were downstairs in the restaurant, like there was somebody with like a hoodie up, like clothes with like shades on and stuff, and somebody kept looking over and they're like, "Are y'all talking to them?" Because like he was obviously somebody important. I don't know.
Dude, watch that was Danny Filth or some shit, just like hiding himself.
No, I think it was. I mean, I think he had the same jacket. Put the jacket on when we.
Oh, we're like, yeah, we're interviewing Wednesday 13.
Yeah,
and he's
he
like,
kept
that
looking
idiot doesn't even know what I look like.
I know. Like I looked over at him. I was like,
They were like, oh fuck, that is him. We're dumb. And that's what changed everything. He went upstairs and he's like, these guys are stupid.
give him 30 minutes.
You think that really happened?
What?
That like he seen us and he like judged us and went upstairs and was
No,
like,
already
let's
judged
give him.
No, honestly, I think if anything, we were probably going to get 3 minutes.
And he thought
he
we
was
were
like,
cool.
you know what? Yeah.
I mean, that's why.
Yeah, and we only got 15, but then we did it for
kind of
like
left,
30.
and then immediately they're like, "Hey, you guys want to come up?" We got the call.
Yeah. Like he's, like he knew we'd go there. Mind blown.
This is Opinions and Beer. If you can tell, we just interviewed Wednesday 13. It was awesome. Cool guy.
Now,
a little shorter than we anticipated. Usually our interviews are about an hour 30 long. This was 30 minutes, but it's fine. It's cool. We got a lot of our questions in, got the debates out, the Mosh debate.
Yeah, it's expected, man. He's a busy man, and we're lucky to get any of his time, and it was a very great opportunity for us.
Yeah, forgive us. We're kind of in a public platform right now where we're all three kissing the same mic. So,
Yeah, we are.
Kisses.
So, yeah, as you can tell, we are live at the Saint Arnold's Brewery right now. We're gonna try their. It's New Beer Wednesday, and we're gonna try their new Cascana Coffee Stout. Stout. Cascana Coffee Stout.
Cascana or you said Cascade earlier. You made me sound stupid.
Look, I can read it from here. It's Cascara Coffee Stout.
Oh, I totally said Cascade Coffee Stout.
Cascara Coffee Stout.
I'm supposed to be a beer snob,
It
and
is
you ruined it.
9% in alcohol by volume.
Ooh.
We don't have
Chug,
like
chug,
all
chug.
the extra information like we usually do.
I'm
we know is a
getting
stout.
water from this fountain in my beer.
Oh, I thought it was just rain.
I think it's a mixture of both. The wind's picking up, so it's pushing it right onto us.
So is there like a restaurant inside?
Yeah.
Okay, so we probably should do this review and then move inside.
I don't know. It looks a little bit classy in there. I don't know if you need a reservation or what.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I'd like to review like every one of these beers. So I think we might be here for a minute. I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna do 9 episodes.
Oh God.
I'm totally down. Like we're not gonna get this opportunity again for a while, so we
guess
might as
not.
well make the most of it.
I got $5 left in my name.
I still have to have some kind of budget for
We can
Disney.
We can share.
Yeah, we can all share one. Let's use 3 glasses.
Split it. Or triple it.
We'll get one and then get
Trip it.
pour it into 3.
So I guess we're gonna try this beer.
Are we? Is it time? Joke's on y'all. I finished my. No, I'm joking. Oh, that is a stout. That's what I wanted from the fucking rocket fuel. But it was flat and had no aftertaste.
Yeah, so I'm really glad that we're trying this here because we know that it's fresh and it's delicious. It's yummy.
Oh man, it really is. It's stout as fuck.
I'm really partial. I'm really partial towards stout. So
Yeah, I mean, like it's never when you're looking for a beer with a kick, which I always am.
you very rarely get disappointed, unless it's like that.
So did you ask them about? You said like today they're releasing a new beer.
You said give me today's beer.
No, it's just that's their gimmick.
Online, you just seen online that's today's beer.
Yeah. It's their gimmick to release a beer.
Which beer did they release? This one?
It should be this one.
It
might have been that weird IPA one. Because I haven't seen the IPA before, but I'm not sure if New Beer Wednesday is like the first Wednesday of the month, and that's just like the new beer for that month.
Maybe it's all the same beer. They just make new batches of it on Wednesday.
I'm still stuck on. I totally said Cascade Coffee Stout. Like, you know, the soap. You know?
Does it taste like soap?
No.
This is far from soap. I will say that.
So what do y'all give it out of a 9? Out of a 9 out of a 10. You know.
So
between 9 and 10. What do you give it?
You got to try and think of the difference between this and what might be in a bottle that you bring home.
Because like you gotta give them.
And over time, you know,
you gotta give
we're getting it right here where it's going to be the best quality.
Right. So like,
with that in mind, if this isn't a 12, then I wouldn't say that it's a 10.
See, yeah, like so basically, if we think it's a 9, we should probably label it an 8 because it's going to be an 8 by the time it gets to you.
Yeah. I would almost even say maybe 2 points lower because God knows how much rat feces and shit is in.
Oh yeah, that makes me so avid to go buy beer from a store now. But it's okay, man. We got some of the rat feces out.
About this beer?
Yeah.
In this classy glass.
This is a stout glass.
I know, it's fucking classy.
It went into the glass it's supposed to go in.
You know what? I drank out of a Popeyes cup, a plastic one that I got at the store. You know, so.
What would you compare this to? Okay, we haven't tried it yet, I guess, in the show. But what would you compare this to the future beer we're gonna have?
Because we can tell the future.
The porter.
Oh, you're saying the one that we haven't had yet, but we will probably be having very soon?
Yeah.
Taste-wise, it's slightly similar, but I feel like that porter just brought the punch, man. In the future, it brought it in the future.
So a separate thing. Then Ryan, what I was asking you, Eamon, what would you compare this to the chocolate stout we have?
Which one?
Oh man, so much better than the chocolate stout.
The
Mexican.
The clown shoes?
Yeah.
Clown shoes.
Yeah, like I said in the future, the clown shoes beer, I would definitely rate that fucking a 1. Like I literally threw up everything I had eaten for hours.
That's such a fucking cool fountain.
It really is.
I wish we could get some of the video.
Is that like a golf ball fountain?
As a matter of fact, let me get this felt.
We're sitting next to a really cool what is that supposed to be?
Like the way that
it's a beer
it uses
glass.
physics to like, you know, it makes the water go.
It looks like a margarita glass.
Yeah. So so would you give this a diagonal cascade or I can't even think
a
of
Cascade
something cool
Tide Pod or those different. A Cascade Pod or a Tide Pod?
Yeah, I give this a 10 Cascade Pods I would chug on video.
Yeah,
I would say that if Tide Pods were my thing, this would be my jam.
This would be my Tide Pod. This is my Tide. We're doing the Tide Pod, the Cascade Pod Stout Challenge.
So hey, we just interviewed.
So no, I'd give it a 9.
I would say that it's like, I don't know, number rating, like a 9. So in stores, probably 7 to 8.
Yeah. It's really good.
Like,
it's really crisp.
Yeah, because I feel like it's
I'm not sure it's going to be in stores.
It's a little bland. Oh really?
Yeah, I think
that's the whole gimmick of the
gimmick is that it's like
the weekly beer. You know?
Sometimes. Maybe one day they'll put it in stores, but I think their new beer doesn't typically go to the stores.
How many beers have you tasted that taste exactly like this?
There has been some. I can't put a number on it, but I know this tastes.
Yeah, it's very stouty.
Yeah, it's good stout.
It follows the classic taste that a stout would have.
I mean, I both like and dislike it for that because I feel like
it's stout, but it's nothing special.
Exactly. I feel like there's not a bunch of like extra flavors and stuff that are popping through it, but I feel like what they claim to do is just be a coffee stout.
They succeeded.
They did it well.
If I was to claim the same thing, that would make me a hypocrite because all the times I've tasted beers that are flavorful, it was like, no, fuck that. I just want my stout flavored stout. You know?
Well,
so,
and this one is, I almost want to say a little bit lighter. Like, I feel like this one's almost a bit watery.
Watery?
Yeah, dude.
Maybe it's because it's straight from the tap.
Probably.
I don't know.
It may have a little bit of that tap juice.
Yeah, tap juice.
it's just like, you know how like in when you're getting a soft drink, it's just corn syrup and water. So it's just beer and water coming out the tap.
Exactly. Yeah, but it's really good. Is there anything else you want to add about it?
If you want to get the that other beer, and we can keep talking. Let me.
Yeah, we're gonna all instantaneously go get that
I
beer.
didn't think this episode would just. Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck that means.
No idea. So we have a second beer to try.
Yeah, we already told them. We said just now.
Yeah.
It was like
You're starting over, Adam.
We got the Hop Pun IPA by
Try it now.
Hop Pun IPA by Saint
stopping
Arnold
me.
Brewing Company. It's 7% alcohol by volume. Not sure about the IBUs, but I'm gonna try to guess them. I'm gonna try to get Hop Pun IPA.
You wanna guess the IBUs?
Yeah, let's all try to guess the IBUs.
We could do that.
I wanted to do that a moment ago, but like we moved on so fast. I did not.
Well, stouts don't usually have IBUs.
How do we keep coming up with fucking amazing ideas like every 30 seconds?
Because we're opinions and beer, man.
Opinions.
This is why.
And beer.
This is why you listen to our. There's billions of podcasts out there, but you listen to opinions and beer because we fucking know what we're doing.
What was the name of the podcast?
Opinions and beer podcast. Yeah, I might want to add that one.
Yeah. Okay. So let's try this beer.
Oh, okay. I take it back. I like a fruity and tropical IPA.
Yeah, apparently it's pretty. I think the IBUs on this one are low.
Oh no,
really low.
Well,
like
no, it's about. I'd say a quarter of the
5
way.
or 6.
So like 25 to 30 IBUs.
Between 25, 30.
Yeah, but don't IBUs go up to like 160 or some shit?
Well, they can pass 100, but they don't have a rating.
So it'd be like
I would say about 25. I'd say this is about
like if you were to judge it from 1 to 10, it'd be like a 4.
Oh no! I'm not talking. We're talking about the IBUs.
But like I don't know like the whole 100% rating.
25%
so
would be
judge the bitterness.
It'd be like 2.5 out of 10.
Judge the bitterness from 1 to 10 because I don't know the IBU fucking it goes up to 500 rating.
Yeah. Well, no, he said it's over 100.
What's it called again?
Usually,
What's it called again?
It's called a Hop Pun IPA.
Hop Pun.
Yeah.
Like bunny hop and then pun like haha.
As a bad joke.
Yeah.
Dad puns. It's a dad beer.
If it's not dick jokes, that's the rest of
this
my
one is
humor,
really.
so.
This one is limited. It's brewed one time. It's only going to be brewed one time. This is
ever.
One
and
time
we're
ever.
tasting it now here?
Yes.
So we're reviewing a beer that our viewers will never even get to experience.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Yeah, sorry guys.
They're like, we're turning this shit
but
off
you
right
can
now.
live vicariously through us now.
Yeah. So if you're ever in the Houston area, which you won't be, but if
which
you are,
won't be. Oh, people come through this area, man. Some famous people have come through this area, man. Fucking Zero and shit.
Yeah.
You know, because that's all I got as far as fame. Like that in Alexis, Texas. No one knows who she is.
Blue October was like from Galveston, I want to say, or.
I feel like Alexis, Texas is more important than Blue October.
Well, yeah, obviously. I'm just trying to add on to it.
I'm trying to figure out what the IBUs are.
Oh, you're trying to like Google it or some shit? Yeah.
Is there any famous actors that
For
ever
a
came out
beer
of
that's
Houston?
only made here, I really don't think we're going to come up with anything like really accurate. So, but what do you? Since Adam is kind of busy right now, Keenan, what flavors do you feel like? What do you think? Because obviously it's a lot. There's a lot coming through. What would you say you think is coming through?
Some kind of tropical. What's the term for like lemon, limes, and orange? Citrus. Some kind of tropical citrus.
Yeah.
I think it's just citrus IPA, and that's why it says it's fruity and tropical. It's because anything citrus is fruity and tropical.
I feel like I know this is gonna sound strange, but I do feel like I got like a hint of like banana. As weird as that sounds, like
that would be fruity and tropical and not citrus.
Yeah, I can't find nothing.
Well, see, the thing with the citrus is I have a really hard time with IPAs because I tend to confuse the taste of citrus and hops for the IPAs.
For me, like, it's not so much like the way citrus hits the side. I know what you mean. Because hops hit the side of your tongue, and citrus hits the side of your tongue. Like, you taste that citrusness with the sides of your tongue, and you taste the hops.
Yeah, I am getting a whole lot of lime. I'm getting lime.
Yeah.
Well, the aftertaste is like...
I didn't want to lock in on lime because it's like either lemon, lime, orange. I don't fucking know.
The reason why
I was going to leave it at citrus.
Well, the reason why I can lock onto this is last night I ate like an oven roasted salmon with honey and lime on it, and they baked the limes in it. And eating a piece of the baked lime is exactly what the aftertaste of this tastes like. And it's not bad, it's just a very powerful taste. So, Adam, are you with us here?
Yeah, I'm checking out Wednesday 13 stuff.
Okay, so with this beer, what flavors do you feel like you're picking up with?
Fruit. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're such a beer connoisseur.
He's being pretty broad there.
I don't know the exact fruit taste. It just it tastes citrusy. So I don't know why it's called a fruit. Is it called fruit?
That's what I'm saying.
Citrus is fruit. goddammit.
Is it?
No, man. An orange and a lemon and a lime.
It's a vegetable.
None of that's. And that's how this interview ended.
So I'm probably wrong, but I feel like that there's banana. But I know for a fact that there's very obviously lime in it.
Maybe.
It's like if you've ever had like a Dos Equis or a Heineken and they put like lime in it at the end.
Yeah. It's like we did that for you.
Yeah, it's definitely a smoother IPA, but that might be the stout talking. I'm not sure.
No.
Yeah, because originally I
that's
said
why
25%.
It was low on
it may be between 50%.
Yeah.
20 to 50 IBUs. Sorry.
No. It's not no 50.
Alright, so what would you say then?
No, yeah, because like, dude.
Because I said 25, Keenan said about 4 out of 10.
30.
It's all about, like, without, like, knowing exact IBA numbers, like, from, like, what it says on the can or, like, we usually do and shit. Like, on cold-hearted, just going on my judgment, on judging the bitterness.
Okay.
It's about how hard it sticks with you and kicks you in the ass and how quick the bitterness is over or how much the bitterness sticks with the aftertaste.
Yeah.
And this shit's just, it can't be too high because, like, it's like, oh, it's bitter. Oh, no, never mind.
True.
And it's gone.
Very true.
Yeah,
very true.
So it's got to be low.
So I mean, no one else is gonna try this beer. It's a one-time batch.
So we got to be all precise as fuck.
What would you rate this beer?
I really want to be. Yeah, let's go a little bit more.
Now this is not a stout. This is not a dark beer. So we can't.
I feel like since
it's so hard.
We're the only ones witnessing this beer, and our viewers will not be able to go out and buy this. So that makes this a fucking piece of history. So I'm giving it an 11. I mean, I don't like the beer, but I'm giving it an 11. No, I'm joking.
I'm gonna rate this versus the most recent IPAs that I've tried. And the most recent ones I've tried are the Lagunitas, which, like you were saying earlier, was the one that was sponsored by that sponsored Boba Flex. Which, damn, after trying some Lagunitas, I got to say that's a really awesome sponsor to have. I think they were really underappreciated, maybe.
Oh yeah,
So that and the other one that I've really been trying was Hopadillo. Like Carbox Hopadillo, and a couple of other just random IPAs that I've been getting in the restaurants that I've been going to. So judging that off this one is definitely sweeter. It's definitely lighter, but like I said, that there's a very strong aftertaste of like burnt lime, or like oven baked lime. besides that, I would say that it compares pretty well against those. I would say that it's probably on par with Lagunitas, and right now, judging based on the IPAs that I've tried, like there's only been like one IPA that I think that we've all tried that I've really liked, and outside of what we've tried, the Lagunitas is like my favorite. So I would say that this has got to be like probably between a 6 to 8. I can't really. It's so hard to tell.
Yeah.
I want to say like a 6, but it tastes better than a 6. It's like a 7. But I'm not going to say 8. But the exclusivity, the fact that we're not going to be able to try this again.
Yeah, that's why I was like.
Yeah, like none of our beers.
Don't even like the beer. Give it an 11. No, you know.
Yeah, like it.
As an IPA, I'm gonna give it a good 8.5.
Yeah, it's a good, like a good 8. Calm the fuck down.
I'm gonna say like a 7.2 because I feel like it's on the way to 8,
and on
but it's not like really.
On the experience level of hey, we're here at the fucking brewery. Hashtag. Well, I'll do that part later. We're here at the brewery. We're drinking this, which they're only making once. It's not gonna be sold in stores, and after this is gone, it's not gonna be sold here either.
Yeah.
So experience level, I'm just giving this experience a 10. Not the beer, the experience. We don't rate experiences here on Opinions and Beer.
So something.
But I'm doing that now.
So on something that, what would you say, Adam? Out of 10, and then we'll go to like a fictitious rating.
Like I just did.
I gave it an 8.
Sir, did you just call my rating fictitious?
It's pretty good. I mean, it's great.
I mean, like something to get like a metaphor so people understand.
Oh yeah, like I give it 12 barrels and a fish.
Okay, hey, I've got a really good. Go ahead, Adam, because I want to.
I gave it
really
8.
Good. Okay.
Oh no, what's it called again?
I give it 3 hipsters at a brewery.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I give it 3 hops at an Easter bunny.
What? Oh yeah, I see what you did there.
Okay, so I'm gonna say
better.
I'm gonna say it's like a virgin that only you've had sex with, but it wasn't that good.
No, I thought you were going to say something.
No. You can't really brag about it that much.
Yeah,
but you're the only one that did it.
Yeah. But the fact that she was a virgin is what made it that bad.
She was 80 years old.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a sheep.
Yeah, sexist.
Let's not get weird here.
Exactly. His asshole was so tight. I'd rather a dirty, slutty gay dude than the virgin dude who's like, be gentle.
This isn't Wednesday 13 appropriate.
Well, yeah, because
they'll be really upset by this.
Oh, because Wednesday. You think Wednesday 13 cares about?
So what'd you think about the interview again?
I thought it was great.
What'd you miss out on?
I missed out on. I didn't know, obviously, me and Wednesday don't hang out all the time. I didn't know where I wanted to draw the line on what's too personal to ask. Like, I read some shit about him being, his fascination with death comes from some near-death experiences that he's had, and I really wanted to be asked him straight up, what were those near-death experiences? Please go into detail. How did you almost die? But that's too personal. I didn't feel right asking that, and I didn't ask that, and there were some questions like that. Like I found out all the things.
Elaborate. What were some of the other questions?
Yeah.
That you feel like you should have asked, but we didn't have the time.
Well, we could have had an hour, and I don't know if I would have asked these questions because the feel of the interview is like he wanted to. It was all very about his career. It's about his music, not just like it's like, oh yeah, I hear you about your new album. Tell me how you almost died, you you moved the fuck on from Murder Dolls, but how about the fact that the Murder Dolls drummer died? Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
You gotta have ethic,
Yeah, it sings it like really. You have in your mind whenever you're going into.
Yeah, it's like I got these things I'm curious
about. But then,
about.
like the way that the interview is going, you gotta guide it a certain direction.
Yeah, and the one question out of all those that I really thought were too personal, and even the question I did ask him, I'm glad he handled it well because I thought it was too personal too.
I honestly think it was a really awesome question.
Yeah, but like it came out like I just feel like now my questions are out of left field because my questions have nothing to do with his music really, just about his own personal.
We talked a lot about him. when we interviewed Boba Fleck, it was like.
So, like, how was your last Thursday?
Then again, we had a.
But you gotta remember, like the Boba Fleck's guided that. Boba Fleck's guided it into weird things. The first thing that fucking Boba Fleck's lead guitarist said to us was, "Hey, what about that fucking Bundy interview?"
Yeah.
Like that's what. Like as soon as we started the podcast, he's like, "We're opening with this."
Well, the fact that like y'all talked to the whole band, right?
Yeah. What was weird?
I mean, we talked to the whole band. I was so there.
No,
kind of though. I mean, well, we did get a little bit of extra interaction here today that we weren't able to record. But it was really cool. Like, we'll keep that. We'll cherish
that. Well, Wednesday 13, like, the interview was about Wednesday 13 the person, not Wednesday 13 the band. As opposed to Boba Flex, y'all were interviewing the band.
And it's not like we were opposed to that idea. It's just whenever these are set up, you know, we talk to them, we set up the interviews, and you know we're at the mercy of their like tour guides and the managers.
That's just it. That made me
it's
wonder.
One of the
like
things that people probably don't understand.
Did just Wednesday want to be interviewed, or did we make it sound like we just want to interview him?
No, see, it's probably more on the lines of the manager was like okay,
Wednesday wants to
we'll set you up with Wednesday.
Yeah, he thinks it's cool. He's interested in what we have to do. He wants to be part of this interview. The rest of the band doesn't really feel the same, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Seeing that you set up most of it, what are your ideas and thoughts on it, Adam?
I kept saying Wednesday 13.
Okay, well, joke's on us, you're the dickhead.
Like, no, it's not your fault that, like, I guess you have to specify when the dude's name is Wednesday 13 and the band's name is Wednesday 13.
I mean, we do have to acknowledge the fact that the other band members were like, man, that seemed like that was really cool, guys. Like, good job. Like, yeah, pat ourselves on the back.
Yeah.
It's few and far between that we get to pat ourselves.
Should we have said, hey guys, you want to be a part of this?
No,
I don't know, man.
No, because of the limited time and limited
that's
space.
What it was.
We would have been able to.
Not even just limited time. Again, like my questions, like had I had 2 hours, I don't know if I would have asked these questions. Had we had 2 hours, we don't know if we had space for the whole band.
Do y'all think that if we would have been like, hey, why don't we get everybody in here? If that would have added on to our time? Maybe.
No, because then we'd been a nuisance.
No, the whole thing was
they had so much to do.
So I think the only reason we got more than 15 minutes because
we're awesome.
I guess the sound check for Cradle went on longer than it's supposed to.
No, it had nothing to do with our success or our charm.
Because he said,
"Fuck you!" I thought
because Wednesday
you're taking that away from me.
No, because Wednesday said as soon as they're done with their sound check, they have to personally go on and do their sound check.
Yeah, it's just a matter of we're doing an interview until you make us stop.
Hey, that's a point to what you were saying earlier about Cradle.
What about? Oh yeah.
Because he had other people doing a sound check
and Cradle wasn't even there.
Where Wednesday was like, yeah, when they're done doing their sound check, we got to go up there.
Okay, so let's elaborate on kind of what we were thinking about, talking about, bringing up here earlier. Like, how did you feel about the interview? How do you think? We'll start with you, Kanan. How do you feel like the interview went? And what do you think that maybe we could have done differently, or just in general your feelings?
Well, I feel like the interview went great. I mean, it was a great opportunity. I know I've said that like 25 times tonight. But and given that it's shorter than our other interviews, I think we really took advantage of the time. We asked the right questions
really
and
deep
shit.
Like just in a small amount of time.
And like I was saying earlier, I am in no way, form, or fashion relieved that we didn't get a full hour. But it was there was a weight lifted off my shoulders. Like, you know, it's like I got like maybe an hour worth of questions, but I definitely had 30 minutes worth of questions.
I like the thought of like, we were like, okay, 15 minutes, at least we have a shorter time to fuck up, right?
Yeah, like if we great, I ain't gotta like...
Yeah, even if we fuck up, we're not gonna be there for that long, right? Right. What do you think, Adam? What would you say, how do you feel that the interview went, and what were some things you would have approached differently and or...
Well, I guess because there's only 15... We were told only 15 minutes.
Yeah, we got like what, 30?
I was worried. I kept worrying about the time, so I didn't know where to go off to, what we should end on,
dude,
what question.
That's why, like, my mind, it like went to shit as soon as he said, "Oh, you got 15 minutes."
I know, me too. I was like, yeah, we're good.
Oh, I got 15 fucking questions.
I just said,
man.
yeah. I just said, yeah.
Yeah, because you don't argue.
And he was like, good. Like he was like, yeah, there's no arguing about it.
Yeah.
You know,
like he gave the time frames out. To
yeah, his response was, can you do it in 15 minutes? Yeah.
No, it's not an option for us because we're fucking opinions and beer podcast.
So what I think, how I felt about the interview, I felt that it went really well. Obviously, I think we touched on, like Keenan was saying, some of the real key issues with the little amount that we had. I do think that maybe like our initial sound check or whatever, like we probably should have just. Here's the thing, is like time-wise, we would have gotten more of an interview if we did the sound check with Wednesday, but I feel like our interview would have been way shittier if he would have seen like all the bullshit that we had to go through.
Yeah, he just was sitting there like,
because there was a weird all that super loud audio crap we had to deal with.
So and that's one thing
I want to make us look bad.
Yeah,
like that dude saved our life by making us set up outside. Yeah. We shouldn't be saying this in the episode. We should be admitting our incompetence.
No, this is something we should definitely let the audience know about. Is that like every time we set up and we do a sound check, no matter what our settings are, literally almost every setting changes from room to room, from place to place. It's crazy how it works, but it's very interesting at the same time.
Exactly.
Well,
like, that's just your opinion.
Guys, if you have any, I guess if you have any advice for like editing software and fucking sound shit.
No, everyone says Audacity is the best.
That's what I've heard too. So, I mean, we're doing what we can with what we have.
What we have. That's just our opinion, because this is opinions and beer.
Opinions and wait, we don't do that anymore.
Opinions and beer.
Opinions and beer. Can't go wrong with opinions and beer.
You gotta do it like Wednesday 13.
Opinions and beer is what I really